Good evening and welcome once again to the Stephen Leeson Show, brought to you live from the Scientology Community Centre here in Dublin.
And we're very excited about the show here this evening. We've got an interview and we've got some music, so please stay tuned.
Tonight we've a blend of drama and music. Our guests are singer-songwriter Gabriel Brady and actor, playwright and advocate for travellers' rights Martin Mahon. Gabriel started writing prose and poetry in his early teens, and he went on to become a travel musician and then on to many other adventures. He trained and worked as an actor and then returned to music with his EP Hell is Empty. Tonight he's accompanied by accomplished guitarist Kurt Scheffner, and would you please welcome Gabriel Brady.
1, 2, 3, 4. I said, baby, please don't go. Put your coat back on the door. Yeah, I promise I won't mistreat you. I won't be mean to you anymore. No, I won't. If you leave me now, sugar, I won't have anybody to mind me anymore. No, I won't. Lord, help me. It's hard to be good sometimes. Yeah, you know what it's like. Yeah, you know what it's like. Sometimes it's hard to be nice. Just when you think a good time is coming, it turns out to be a bad time coming twice. Help me. Ow! Listen to it. Your sister called 7 times on Sunday just to see how you were. She said to me, she said, Johnny, you better be good to her. You better be good, or I swear. I told her, I said to her, I said, Doris, if you think you can do better, why then, don't you come on over here? I got my job back in the yard. I work hard, shovel coal all day. Yeah, I work hard in that yard. Fill sacks all day. I shovel coal. That's what I do. And someday I'm gonna make you proud, and I'm gonna drive a truck. I won't shovel coal no more, no more. Mercy. listen to me. Baby, please don't go. Put your coat back on the door. I promise I won't mistreat you. I won't be mean to you anymore. No, I won't. If you leave me now, sugar, I won't have anybody. I won't have anybody. I won't have anybody to mind me anymore. That was Coat on the Door Blues. It had images from my childhood in it. This song has images from my mother's childhood. It's called First Rose of June. Come and sit by me, my darling. Don't you know I'll always love you? From the moment that I met you, I knew our love was gonna be true. Hearts don't fear where they're going, and no, I'm not afraid to be blind. And I loved you then, and only because you said you're gonna be mine. Oh, how lightly you hid your burdens, and you stayed well behind your smile, and you weighed in over your sorrow. I could see the trust in your eyes. Eyes sparkled and words were spoken, and some of them were oh so true. Telling you a bit about some of my melodies, I'll tell you where I got those lines. And I loved you then, and only because you said you're gonna be mine. No, we'll never stop loving. No, we'll never lose what's true, because I love you tender and always, just like I loved that first rose of June. No, we'll never stop loving. No, we'll never lose what's true, because I love you tender and always, just like I loved that first rose of June. Hearts feel the love and hearts get broken. No, now nobody wants to cry. And you trusted me from that moment, and I could see the trust in your eye. Eyes sparkled and words were golden, and some of them were oh so blue. Yes, I loved you then, and only because you said you're gonna love me too. No, we'll never stop loving. No, we'll never lose what's true, because I love you tender and always, just like I loved that first rose of June. Just like I loved that first rose of June. That was First Rose of June. Our next song is called Trouble in Paradise, and the words were inspired by a parson friend of mine from Massachusetts, Parsonage Barnsley. See what you feel or think from this. It's a mood song. When I woke up, I saw your stuff in a pile. I didn't worry about it then, at least not at the time. Your sister called to see how you were. I said, never you mind. Oh, I see, says she to me, trouble in paradise. Stew and your mother's ginger pies. Yeah, I like the cooking very much. The flavor was very nice. Yes, I like to cook sometimes when I get the time. But you know, I could not cook now. I got no appetite. Would you come back to me if I asked you? Would you come back? Are you joking or what? Are you joking or what? Would you come back to me if I asked you? Would you come back? Are you joking or what? 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 Would you come back to me if I asked you? Would you come back? Are you joking or what? Are you joking or what? We stopped our secrets and our telling lies. Yeah, our numbers came up. Yeah, we saw the signs. Something that you said to me stayed on my mind. Some things that you lose, you're never gonna find. Would you come back to me if I asked you? Would you come back? Are you joking or what? Are you joking or what? Would you come back to me if I asked you? Would you come back? Are you joking or what? Are you joking or what? That's a mysterious song. Mysterious song. We love playing it though. This next song, Kurt Schefter almost wrote this song, but I beat him to it. It's called Jumpin' Johnny. I wouldn't want to change, you probably turn me back. I wouldn't want to change, you know, 'cause I like it like that. I live with my mama and my dog, I work with my dad. I never had it so good, the only way I ever had. As far as I've come, I've never had to turn back. I like to be what I feel. The girls say I move too fast. I play a bit of guitar for them, and sometimes jazz. When I start dancing, my feet go clickety-clack. 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 Clickety-clack, yeah. My mama taught me how to dance and how to sing. Daddy told me drink whiskey, make the guitar ring. They call me Jumpin' Johnny and my feet go clickety-clack. I'll play a 62 Fender. I'll play it on my bag. I'll play it on my bag. Clickety-clack. Clickety-clack. A girl that I met her once, I once made her cry. I said I do the snake roll without the oil. She said I do the butterfly. She pulled me close. She said, Johnny, you must be the one. I said, don't you know what now, Doris? Let's go downtown. I'll show you some fun. There ain't nobody else here play the rock and roll. I started up before my brother, 6 years old. My mama bought me John Lee Hooker records to play. She said, let the boy boogie, let him rock and roll. Clickety-clack, 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 clickety-clack. I wouldn't want to change, probably turn me bad. I wouldn't want to change, you know, 'cause I like it like that. I give what I can, I keep what I don't want to give back. Mama told me, she said, it's best not to change, a natural fact. They call me Jumpin' Johnny, and my feet go clickety-clack. I play a 62 Fender, I play it on my back, I play it on my back. Clickety-clack, clickety-clack.
What it was? Are you staying with me?
Are you joking or what?
Are you joking or what?
You stand on the head of it, yeah.
And then, of course, we had Kurt also there that played with Alana Miles.
Kurt Schefter, by the way. I think I said
Yes.
his name wrong earlier. Yeah, that's unbelievable.
Alana
isn't
Miles,
it?
Black Velvet, yeah, what an iconic song. I really enjoy that.
Great original songs,
Yeah,
Gabriel.
fantastic.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Appreciate it. Folks, our next guest is Martin Mahon, who got involved with acting in his early teens and was later inspired to become a playwright. Martin has also involved himself in travelers' rights, and he's here to tell us about his creative journey. Martin, thank you very much for joining us.
Stephen, thank you so much for having me on the show, and Angel, thank you as well.
So good to see you.
I've been a big fan of this show for a long time, and it's just great to finally be a guest on it, so I just wanted to
Finally
say
got
thank you
here.
very
We
much.
wanted you to get here, and thank you very much for coming on.
Don't
Thank
forget,
you for having me.
Don't forget to keep being a fan.
I'm not going nowhere, not with you on the air. I'm not going nowhere.
So, you know, the last time we actually met was on the Paradream show, which was shot here as well.
Yes.
And that was our first time, actually.
So
to
first
meet.
time meeting, yeah.
Yeah, on the Paradreams with Marion Shanley.
Marion,
so
yes.
yeah, so we're delighted to interview you here this evening. I would like to actually to start off with going back to your, you know, growing up in Tralee, if you don't mind.
Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be great.
Are you still living in Tralee?
unfortunately, no, I'm only messing. Can we cut that part out?
No, we know you're
I
messing.
was down in Dingle last weekend, even to get to Spart Street. It's a good house, isn't
It
yeah.
is. It's the end of the track on the train from Euston. It's literally the last stop you can go to on Munster. That's how far we are from where we are. But
Good to know you
We'll be
can
down to
do
see you
that,
soon.
for the Rose of Tralee.
Yeah.
No, look, Tralee it's a town where I found every kind of way of life. I mean, I encountered every type of people there from all walks of life. And they taught me a lot of lessons that you would encounter, as in to prepare yourself for growing up, preparing yourself for going to school with a girl. I started in primary school, in an all-boys school, and then I went to Mercy Mount Talk, which is secondary school, which had females. And it was my first time being introduced to that area and being prepared to be in a classroom at 13 or 14 with females. You know, that was the first thing I kind of got from Mount Talk, from Tralee. I also learned a lot about the good and the bad side of life there. I met a lot of great friends there. I met a lot of great connections there. I did a lot of great work there. But I also met a lot of iffy people along the way who kind of prepare you and train you for adult life. So I would say Tralee is a town that has everything that you would want and almost not everything that you would want at the same time, because it's on the map. Like, we have a university, we have an amazing hospital, we're well known, famous for the Rose of Tralee. There is a lot happening there. We have Shim Satira, we have the Carrie School of Music. There is a lot going on in that town. There's a lot of musicians coming through in there as well, a lot of acting scene breaking through as well, which is under the radar. One or two actors even from the town being on a Game of Thrones, being on Fair City. There's a lot of stuff
don't know
there.
Fancy Conway, actually, do you?
Quite well, actually. He
Yeah,
was
he's
on the
very
show
on the
with
Paradream show as well,
and
yes.
it's coincidentally because I met Marion last year, got on the Power of Dreams, became amazing friends with her, and then coincidentally she was doing a Christmas special out here, and coincidentally then I meet Angel, and then I meet Francie, who's from my town, and before you know it, then here we are
Here
as
you
a
are.
guest on the show. So I believe in serendipity, and I believe in timing, and everything happens for a reason. And I learned a lot of that from Marion as well, about timing and moments and appreciating and capitalizing on stuff that's caught up in the moment, you know. So growing up in Tralee as well, I'm not going to lie, as who I am and being from the community, there's a lot down there. There's a lot of the travelling community based in Carrie and in Tralee. Not so much Tralee, more Listowel area, Killarney, the other towns, but Tralee, you would get a big following. That's where the Carrie Traveller Project is based as well. So that's where all the work comes out of.
What
Yeah.
what is? Give me some information about the Carrie Traveller
So
Project.
Carrie Traveller Project is something which overlooks all of basically the people from the community in the town. And we would tend to and deal with all of their issues regardless. Say, if there was a kid in school that was being treated differently, or there was a travelling family that couldn't get a grant for food or get a grant for something that their daughter or their son might need, we would then take over the situation, find out why they're not getting it, and help them and guide them in the right direction.
Kind of similar to the one
Almost,
in Dublin as
almost
well.
kind of
So
like
to
a
the
citizen's
community,
advice, but
yeah,
just for the
yeah.
community. And they're based in every county, and we have a national, like, worldwide appreciation and link up with the other projects that's in Cork, in Dublin, and Galway. So we're always in contact, and we come together. We have a Traveller Pride Week, which every county celebrates at the end of the year, and you put on a big kind of show or stuff like that. But the core of it is to dealing with everyday people from the community, helping them with their everyday issues, whether it be get a grant, whether it be get a bit of food, whether it be help them find a job, whether it be help their daughter get their driver license, which is another issue as well, which we're finding a bit of struggle to kind of prove that there's a bit of iffiness towards us on that. So that's what we're there for. We're there to help them, that they can come in and feel that they can come and talk to us instead of going to citizens' advice or going to talk to someone maybe they would feel they wouldn't get the right appreciation. And being from the community, I know that people are kind of enclosed to kind of going forward for help unless it's from someone from their own community.
And
Now,
how
it's
did you
not
get
always like
involved?
that.
I mean, how did you get involved in traveller issues? Because what made you feel that you were going to stand out and make a difference to traveller issues? As I see, you won National Traveller Pride Award.
Yes, in
Fantastic.
2014, which was an amazing opportunity,
Yeah.
alongside Cindy.
Congratulations, that's
Thank
great,
you,
yeah.
thank you. And I was alongside Cindy Joyce, who's gone on to monumental things at the moment,
Chatting
and
earlier, yeah.
she's a fantastic advocate as well. I want to give her a shout out. I wrote a play. I was in Shimsatira, so I wrote a play based around the gay community, and I wrote it fully and honestly at the time, and with love and with intention. And I wanted to write something that wasn't stereotypical or flimsy or whatever way you kind of see it portrayed. So I wrote this really powerful piece, and people loved it. I starred in it, and an actor from that area as well, from
So you wrote it
Tralee.
and
We
starred
wrote
in
it
it,
and we
yeah.
starred in it together, and he beat from the gay community as well. So it was amazing for him to kind of get something that can be highlighted in a positive light. Now, I'm not going off the topic, but that's how I got the award.
Yeah, yeah.
So I got selected for the Traveller Pride Award from that for writing and acting. So I won it in 2014 in the arts category. And when I won that just opened, like, there was so much going on that I didn't even know about. Like, and it's kind of like what I found out now in the acting industry. There's so much going on around you, but unless you have an agent, you're clueless.
Yeah.
It's the same with me. Unless I was in the ball or in the circle with all of the advocate work and rights work at the time, I hadn't a clue what was going on. It wasn't until I made myself a little bit aware and made myself a little bit interested in this that I could actually want to go on and do it. So, you know, so when I won it, then they reached out to me in Tralee if I would come and do a small conference and come in and just overlook a men's shed kind of thing. And to kind of get traveller men to come together, kind of just chill and just be comfortable in their own company and to do back basic, simple things that you would do to pass the time away. But they were trying to get people to come together from the community and just kind of end the all kind of, I don't talk to him, I don't talk to her kind of thing. So we wanted to have men and just the males there. And that's how I first got into it then. And then I started really liking it. I managed to get the men to sit down, talk to them from a logical and honest perspective, being from the community, and say, look, they want us to try here, to try and mix and mingle and not just have all the feuds and the tides. Let's show that we can chill out and relax and be together, be ordinary friends and stuff like that. Turns out it actually worked. So that led me then to go on to doing all of the different work that I'm doing now, as in regards conferences, going to talks.
Come on, do you want me asking actually, how old are you?
27.
27, because you've got
Way
a
beyond your
huge,
years, yeah.
like, just everything that you've appeared to do, because obviously we had to research, we've
Yeah.
both researching, like,
Yeah.
you've achieved a hell of a lot, like, you know,
Oh, thank you.
for such a young lad, like, you know.
Well, look, I mean, I feel like it's a vocation, and I've always felt it, and it's been in my heart for a long time. Like, the work that I'm doing for the community now, as much as every other ones are doing it, unless it's real and legit and you're caring about it, you're not going to be able to continue speaking and reaching out to the people, because they're going to pick that up off you. So this is coming from a place, and it's coming from
your
I
heart.
feel like I owe it to my family.
Yeah.
And I owe it to the community that has been let down previous to the work that we haven't done. And I feel I owe it to my brother and my sister and my kids of the future, when we have them, that they're not going to be treated the same way I was. Or they're not going to have opportunities or have elephants in the room as to why you don't like me and not point it out at all. No,
And
I want to get past that.
do you feel that you've made a difference? Can you see it yourself?
I don't know if I would made it, if myself has made a difference, but I
Well, you're here tonight.
I always try to be as humble as possible.
Yeah.
I would say, though, that the work the advocates and the activists have done in the last 45 months has done more work for the community in the last 30 years. Because once we got that ethnicity recognition from the government, that opened a hole. It did and it didn't, because it was almost like a smoke screen, and it was kind of just everything stayed the way that it was. And we have so much hopes for us to kind of get more forward in areas of culture when that got recognized, and that didn't happen. But look, we got on with it, but when that happened, it brought forward so much more people. Like, for so long, I had only John Connors as a hero from the community. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
when he won the IFTA and he spoke about the races that he was facing up there, for me, that was groundbreaking. So it was always John for such a long time. But in the last few years, people like Thomas Connors has come out. Eileen Flynn, the first Traveller Senator in the Dáil, she's immortal forever for that. Thomas Connors, William Casey, Joshua O'Donoghue, so much other people that are breaking through the industry, not just in acting and music, all from the travelling community, all passionate, all advocates, and all speaking with true honesty about what we went through, what we're still going through, and what we will continue to go through. So I think we have a lot of power behind us with a lot of contacts, and we're moving stronger than
It's
ever this
great to
time.
see, like, you know, it's
That's what I generally do.
I think you could have your own statue in 100 years' time.
Maybe. Two, maybe.
I love it. I'm just wondering, actually, how you fit in the acting.
So the acting started, once again, going back, and you might call me cliche, but there's been no history of acting in my family. Like, or I haven't been friends with anyone or associated with anyone or anything in the industry.
It's a difficult industry as well, isn't
It is, and I found it as a vocation, and I'm just touching on the religion again, but like, whenever I try to do other stuff, like I studied law for 3 years because I wanted to go down the law route as well, and I kept that option open.
Yeah.
Then I wanted to get into soccer management as well, crazily enough, would you believe it?
Right.
Yeah, I never wanted to play, but I wanted to coach because I was in love with the way that they were coaching and the training and
Cool,
the
yeah.
structure, do you know? But it was always acting. It was always like something calling me. And then I remember when I joined the Free Radicals, and give them an amazing shout out. They're the best thing probably that you could possibly do if you're a young actor under 21. They need to set up stuff like these in these towns, because basically 16 to 25 years old, anyone can join. You're doing 3 full production terms a whole year. You're learning about Chekhov. You're learning about all the rights and the laws and the stuff of the hierarchy of the people we say in the back row when you're performing. We learned all of that on a Saturday when you could be going to UCC or UCD and learning them over 4 years. We were learning it for free.
Brilliant.
And it just opened so much doors. Like that's how I started getting into writing, being inspired by our local writer. You know, it's just...
When do you think you figured out you liked entertaining as well, though? Because acting is entertaining, of course, as well.
It is, but because I always felt myself when I was on stage, or when I was. It might sound crazy, but I always felt I was myself when I was other people. I always felt I was more myself when I was other
I know
people.
what you mean, like, yeah,
So
yeah.
and you can relate to that with the music, and
Of course,
when
yeah.
you're writing your lyrics and you're putting a message on
It's the
the
same,
paper and you're fixing it with your tune.
Forget about everything when
You
you're
know?
doing your thing,
Yeah.
entertaining. That's the way.
So the Radicals opened so much doors for me, and then it would have been the local facilitator Neil Flynn, who would have been the local writer from Carrie as well, and he's on to big things at the minute, filming and writing something for BBC. But he inspired me so much. Like, I remember reading one of his scripts, and then I was like, I actually can write this as well, and I can write something similar to this. And I went home and I remembered I wrote a 33-page manuscript of a story on an A4 paper, and I'm writing the names in the corner and the dots, and you're writing the dialect and you're writing the stage movements. And I brought it back to him the day after, and he was like, wow. He was like, you wrote all this in a couple of hours? I was like, yeah. And then he sat me down, he broke it down into what way I should formally write, and then it just oozed out of me from then. Then I started joining the local musical society, The Lost. It's called LOST, from the Carrie School of Music as well. And Aidan O'Carlin and his amazing family, I'll give them a shout out for the incredible work and stuff that they've helped us along the way. I got into performing musicals through him, and we did Into the Woods together, and we did Annie together, and we did Chicago together. I'm hoping to only do a Veta this year later after a 2-year absence from the stage in November. So it just kept going from there for me, and I kept trying to find other stuff to take my time and attention, not purposely, but just trying to see could I be good at other stuff. I kept going back to that.
Do you have a favourite actor that you've worked with?
Yeah, I'm going to say Paul Cusack.
Okay.
He was an actor that we met 007 Irish interpretation with recently, would you believe it? We had this project in the pipeline for a while, and instead of No Time to Die, we did I Expect You to Die, which was really interesting. And now they're actually in Sligo doing their own fan-made Doctor Who series as well, but I don't want to be a part of that. But the bond was, for me, impossible to not do. I was like, oh my God.
Expected to Die. What a
And
title.
we had a team, and we had an original score for it and everything, and it was amazing. It's online now, so I'll give Paul a shout out because he gave me an opportunity for that, and the productions kept getting postponed, and he didn't take away my shot. So I would give Paul a shout out for that one.
Respect to that.
Definitely.
Just you mentioned John Connors earlier as well.
Yes.
Are you part of John Connors acting school, or something you did already, or
yeah,
what
so,
is it like? You know,
so that was that actually came from Shimsa, would you believe it? So I had heard about last year that John was making a show. I had never met him up until then. He hadn't known who I was. I didn't even fangirl him on Instagram or anything and saying, you're my hero. I didn't want to go down that route.
Yeah.
I wanted to wait until I meet him.
Yep.
So I sent in a video, and it was people from Shimsa contacted me saying they're looking for actors and people from different minority backgrounds for a new RT TV show. Would you be interested? I was like, of course, I'd love to be interested. This is amazing. But I didn't, I was thinking 5,000 or 6,000 applicants. You don't really give yourself much of a shot. So that way then you don't really feel bad when you don't get it. That's how I learned to deal with rejection.
Good thinking.
And that's what I had to learn in the industry about travelling to Dublin for 4 hours, which is the journey from Tralee, to stand in front of a director, and he's going to say, speak, and you say a line. He don't like your voice. Next. And now you got to get that 4-hour journey back, and you have to be able to take that. And that's a lot of character building and
acting, theatre, all of it. It's all auditions.
But anyway, so they recommended me to send in a video, and it was the length of the video was 5 minutes, and the topic was.
So you didn't have to stand in front of them; you just sent the video.
I sent in a video, yeah.
Okay.
And that's how you did your audition. So I sent in a video over time. Unfortunately, it was 11 minutes. I was like, oh, he just thinks I'm doing too much. Because the question was, tell me about your traveller background. Tell me about your interest in acting.
Your mic.
Are you from any minority background? And I sent in mine, and I spoke about what I was doing with the Radicals. I spoke about the activism work, and I spoke about how I was a hero. He was a hero of mine, and I said, I know you probably hear this all the time from every traveller actor or aspiring one. You're probably sick of it, I'm saying stuff like that. I sent him in the video, and you got a call a couple of weeks later from Una Shiners from RTE, amazing producer there, that had been selected for Connors' show, and COVID hit, and it kept being postponed and put back, and finally we got it going then, and it was myself and 5 other actors from all over Ireland, and we were in a 5-day boot camp in Mount Druitt in Westmeath, the most amazing place with a maze around you, and you're in these little yurts. You're properly isolated, and you're properly at the will of the mentors, really. And every day we were grilled through intense classes that we loved, and that it made us better, and it pushed us to the limit, and it pushed our character building. Remember, we were working with Saoirse Jackson from Derry Girls, who came in, Stuart Carlin, the creator of Love Hate, who had been an amazing hero of mine for his fantastic writing, and of course Jim Sheridan came in at the end of it, and that was just like a masterclass. And there's no graces or teas about him. We had to tell him even, can you stop like Carcenia being filmed? He's like he is what he is. He's no, he doesn't try to change anything. He is. This is how he is. He gave us a lesson. He taught us about life. He taught us about his career, tips going forward. We linked up then on the last day with Saoirse Cardinalè, who's an up-and-coming Irish actress who has, I think she's in Kin as well, or she's going to be in season 2. And we all had to do improvisation work with her, and we blew it out of the park. Like, we did this whole yes or no thing, where you start a conversation and a whole story with you saying yes and no, and you'll go back and forth, and you have to make a story up as to why we are arguing about the yes and the no. And we just blew that.
Can we try that, Stephen?
You got to try it on the season finale.
And we're coming close to the end, just we've been told time or whatever. So I just want to know, when are people going to see you next, or when have you any dates or now people going to see it?
No, I have so there was a few things coming up over the summer. We have our National Traveller Pride week, which is happening. Instead of having the Carrie one, there's every county one, but then there's a national one.
Okay.
So I'm putting on my new one-man show, which I will be debuting on that. I have another one-man show I'm hoping to take on tour. We've got grants
Where
and
does that
permission
take
to that.
place?
We're hoping to start in Kerry first.
Oh, are you?
Because
Okay,
there's a few small studios there I want to take, and if they can get to liking it, I'm hoping to take it to Cork and then do a national tour of it, which is what I touched on with Mary, which is actually I want to give Mary McDonough a shout out as well, and the amazing work that she's doing at the minute. Me and herself are in the middle of a 12-week to 8-week, forgive me if I got the dates wrong, Mary, but about acting and intensity and performing, and it's all people from the traveling community. And every week we're learning and we're working with people from the industry, just like we did.
Name that you said you wanted to mention as well, which is Rosemary Mahon, because you've been doing some work
yes,
recently
Rosemary,
as well.
she's watching. Rosemary. I want to give her a shout out because she's a fantastic advocate. We did a lot of work last year together for National Traveller Pride, and she organised the filming of a video and an interview and conferences, and we've just stayed in constant contact from day one. So she's a huge powerhouse with a calmness that I've never seen before.
She's a lovely girl with a
and she has big plans as well for the community this year. Also, I'll be, don't know if I can say, I'll be doing my first full feature with a certain person that's going to be a guest in a few weeks.
Okay.
But
congratulations.
That's
Super.
I'm very looking forward to that.
You're going to do a performance for us now, is that right?
Something like that.
You're a powerhouse yourself.
I'm just going to say a few words, and it's just something I'm passionate about. And if I have a chance to be on a platform like this, I want to use it to the best of my ability.
We're looking forward to seeing what
Thank you so much.
Thank you, and thank you for having me on you, and thank you for your time. I really appreciate it.
We enjoyed every moment of that interview. I have to be honest.
Tried my best anyway to entertain you.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Let them take the stage.
Oh my God.
Delighted to meet him now.
Tell you.
Drink?
Yeah, sure.
You can definitely take a drink. You don't have to ask us that. We have to keep on talking.
Oh my God, he is so inspiring, isn't he? Really.
Been a great show.
Oh my God. I'm telling you, that was really good. Thank you, Martin. Are you going to tell us about the guests for next week?
Yeah, next week, folk. In next week's show, we'll be meeting singer and pianist Ting Ting Wang and filmmaker Robbie Walsh. But that's next week. We're going to hand you over to Martin now because I see he is ready. So, Martin, take the stage.
I'm not going to bore you, or I'm not going to repeat anything that you've heard over and over again, but I am going to speak to the people of my community, but I'm also going to speak to every person out there who's ever suffered misjustice or wrongdoings or treated unfairly on the issue of human rights. Now, and I want to touch on it because, firstly, when the pandemic hit and the last 2 years, everything has been completely up and thrown apart, as in that our whole lifetime in existence has almost been completely shattered and thrown back to normal, that our mental health has been completely forgotten about. And the work that we've done in the last 46 months for our community would have been probably more than the government had done for a whole community in the last 30 years. We've done things they said we'd never do. We achieved things they said we'd never do. And we did it again, and we did it again, and we did it again. There's so much powerhouses breaking through now that will help us going forward fighting these racial issues. So, as people have already listed in my interview, powerhouses coming from music, coming from acting, and coming from human rights as well, that are going to rise up, and we're going to do it right this time, because we have a lot to say. We have a lot. We've been failed and failed miserably for the last 30 years, continuously, and with no attempt to change any of that. So the past is the past, but you better believe the future is the future, and that all of us who keep it in our hearts and who have the desire and the dedication, but also the scars of the previous wrongs of this, will change the future on it, because only the people who went through it, like myself and so many others who are watching at home about it, can understand fully what I'm trying to say, because those words ring clear to your heart. All those times you had the door slammed in your face, told you weren't allowed to enter, told you were different, told you weren't good enough, told you were a freak, all because we were different. Well, I have to promise you that people like myself and everything else, everything you went through is not going to be forgotten, because we have a lot of big plans here. We have a lot of big plans, and we have a lot of right people in motion that are going to see them through to the bitter end here. And I'm going to touch on the suicide issue, because that's a silent killer in my community, but it's also a silent killer all around the world. And that's going back to mental health, and that's going back to unappreciation of yourself. And that comes from the darkness and the world around you that you're keeping in your circle. For some reason, get rid of it. Remove the negative thought. Remove the low opinion you have of yourself, and you will find your way again in the world. You'll find your place in the world again, and we will rise up better than you've ever did before. And if you leave that old version of yourself behind, that's the only version of yourself you need to leave behind, because we have big plans going forward. We're not going to stop. We have huge plans. And it's rightly so, because we owe it to ourselves, but I also feel the country owes it to us. And I feel everyone who's been mistreated by human rights, and everyone who's felt differently because of their skin color or because of their association with a particular group or any of that nonsense, who has ever felt that they weren't good enough, this is for you. And I promise you this, that we're going to come with you with a fire that you've never seen before. So the work that we're going to do in the next few years is going to be for you, and it's going to be for everyone who was mistreated and who the world maybe forgot. That remember that it's their time to shine, because we're going nowhere. I'm going nowhere. I'm going to see this through. And so is everybody else who's passionate about the cause and who believes in the cause and who is vigorously pursuing it, just like I'm going to do. That you must remember this, that the best is yet to come. Those tears will dry. Those feelings will go. You will laugh again. You will smile again. You will be happy again. You will love again. The best is yet to come. Thank you, and God bless you.
Said Martin, thank you very much once again. Appreciate you coming on the show. Great words.
Really enjoyed it. Thank you so much. We had a wonderful show here this evening. I hope you enjoyed. We look forward to seeing you next week. Tune in. Bye for now. Thank you. Good night. Thank you.
Good night.